considering that they played so many games with a different set of players.
For sure. And to me, the biggest adjustment would be playing with the two imports there in the BCL.
In particular, coach, they played with Ronde Hall Jefferson for so long with an import, and it felt like they were adjusting for most parts of the conference early on, as Junmar Fajardo has a nice block.
Meralco's offense very rusty here. They're trying to attack Junmar, but Junmar playing terrific defense so far.
Marshall Lassiter couldn't finish there. Rodney Brondial gets his second basket. The drive, Marshall Lassiter wide open, though another offensive rebound for Rodney Brondial. They're swinging around. Wami Chongson at the top. He gets at the fall. Player here who can actually swing the balance of this game, especially if he finds his rhythm here, as he works on Jericho Cruz, and that's a pretty finish. Nagdilang Angel. Sorry, coach. To get the jumper to go. Don Trollano. Don. Crafty finish. But Don Trollano saying he was hit in the face. Trollano saying he was hit in the face.
But he's a joy to watch always on the offensive end because he can score in so many ways.
Trollano on the attack, on the move, and that's easy getting past Jansen Rios.
That's just
for an answer. It's also interesting that they also credited the weight management of Don Trollano. Mo Totua had that, and you know what?
Did they hire a dietitian?
And you know, as we're taking a look at the Meralco Bolts here, feels like the one player that I miss for this team is Alain Maliksi.
More effective now because of the newfound speed of Mo.
Yeah. Bates swing that around to the corner. Wide open is Chris Newsom, and Newsom drains it. That's Aaron Black working on Jericho Cruz. Marshall Lassiter has it now. They're switching things around. That time, got them on the tag, and Marshall Lassiter just around with Hodge. Hodge unable to finish in close range.
Too unselfish again. I thought Banquero had that shot, that little floater.
Time to go to the corner. Here's Banquero. And that's a nifty finish as CJ Cancino gets at the fall.
This guy is very talented. Not only
CJ Cancino wants to make it a bit closer. CJ Cancino blocked by Junmar Fajardo. Not really raise his hands.
And you do that with speed or with a change in direction.
There's Banquero with the score, and all of a sudden, San Miguel Beermen need to sue for time.
And that's the problem when you front Junmar Fajardo. When his teammates miss, it's an easy offensive rebound for him.
And that was an easy interception there coming from the San Miguel Beermen.
On rebounding and on the defensive end.
Here is Chris Banquero off the triple handoff from Almazan, and Chris Banquero does it all by himself. Eventually the double arrives as CJ Perez goes on the attack, and that's a basket and one for Jericho, for Rodney Brondial. Wami Chongson, Wami trying to manufacture something out of nothing. A good defensive possession coming from Brandon Bates. Here's Cliff Hodge sailing in for two for the basket and one.
That is exactly how you want to start if you are Meralco.
Taking him to the post. Here's Bong Quinto. Oh, and what a spin, but Junmar Fajardo is there. Bates can't get that one.
But that's a great jump by Bates.
Yep.
Fighting for that offensive rebound.
Wami Chongson wide open in the corner, and he is money.
That is why he is shooting over 40% from the field beyond the arc.
Here's Cliff Hodge. That time attack Rodney Brondial, who goes down holding on to his face. Took out a cameraman, coach, as he went on for that lay-in. But he's okay. Oh, but CJ Perez sails in as well. Too easy.
That's too easy.
Too easy with the penetration. As we have an update here from our own Bel Gregorio. Bel.
We need brave men to fight in the second half. That was the call of the Meralco coaches back in the dugout.
That's a great effort there from Cliff Hodge. Banquero on the PNR. Wow. Oh, what a reverse from Chris Banquero. Here in the third quarter. Take a look at this again, coach. One of the prettiest lay-ins.
Banquero takes advantage of his speed against the switching Brondial. Easy layup. Nice pass from Newsom.
Here's CJ Perez. Perez finding Brondial, and Brondial with an easy two. Again, Brondial, one of those guys trying to get going here. Well rested after seeing just a few minutes in that first half. CJ Perez getting his numbers up here. And here's a chance again for Meralco. They are more at home running the floor. Raymond Almazan catching and scoring. Banquero. Oh, what a feed! What a fight from Chris Banquero. Here's Chris Newsom. Newsom with the drive, and Newsom, he's been growing into this game. And they gotta be a bit creative here, coach, because Raymond Almazan has not been returned to the floor because he has 5 fouls, but then that's a great turnover. And Raymond Jose making a difference in his cameo. And they gotta be a bit creative here, coach, because Raymond Almazan has not been returned to the floor because he has 5 fouls, but then that's a great turnover. And Raymond Jose making a difference in his cameo. Almost there for a 4-point shot as Aaron Black finding Norbert Torres. And Norbert getting him up in the air. Basket and one. And Meralco are back in the races.
With long rebounds, you also can get in the fast break. And now, the nice thing here with Meralco,
those guys who haven't really gotten a lot of minutes this conference, coach, and they are now tasked to defend a multiple-time MVP. There's a double team. Jumar working against them, and he scores anyway.
If you're Meralco, Fajardo's going to get his points.
Yes, he will.
Just play on.
Norbert Torres, he'll try to get a 3 back. Norbert Torres! Wami Chongson running the break here. Jericho Cruz, they have the numbers on about San Miguel. And Don Trollano trying to flip that up. Rodney Brondial, another offensive rebound, and with another finish. Off the ball, and even gets his turn on the ball, like what he's doing right here. But that's Mo Tautua, what an athletic play.
But the nice thing with Wami, he has learned to pick his spots.
Yes.
Not and being off the ball, but when he is needed to be the scorer in that pick and roll, he is capable of doing it.
CJ Cancino with a basket to answer Mo Tautua. Here's Mo. Mo Tautua with a reverse, no dice. And Rodney Brondial has been everywhere. It doesn't matter what their height is. And Mo Tautua wins the finish.
You need the grit of Rodney Brondial and then Mo Tautua not giving up, dominant off that offensive glass.
Mo Tautua with the finish. He is having a hard time moving, but here he is running anyway and saying that he should have fouled. Of course, it'll all start with a stop. CJ Perez working on Chris Newsom. New trying to stay in front of the Predator. Wide open, Don Trollano, he'll take that. Strained the right knee. After the big 4-pointer there from Chris Banquero to keep them.
Makes that kind of impact on the defensive end, but look at that. Fajardo diving ensures that Trollano is...
With Hodge, tried to terminate. He got up in the air and all of a sudden had to pass that out. So we'll go the other way here. Here is Junmar Fajardo against Norbert Torres. And a turnover here. What can Meralco do? They need to score. Chris Banquero, foul going up. Wami Chongson shooting above Norbert Torres, unable to get it. So this is more comfortable here for the Meralco Bolts, attacking on the break. Bong Quinto, that's more like it. Now Banquero in and out. Bates with another one. Chris Newsom has it. And Bates will keep it alive again. Bates like, all right, let me finish it. 14 points. But then again, we just have to recognize just how difficult of a conference this was for the Meralco Bolts, who had to manage through different assignments all over the world. As Chris Newsom gets his 3-ball. The San Miguel Beermen want the Philippine Cup back in their trophy cabinet. It has been a while, too long for the San Miguel Beermen, as they are set to try and get over.